That just reminded me of the Big Lebowski. Always check for wind before you dump your ash. On this adventure, I'll be venturing into the northern wilderness for 3 days, embracing the rugged beauty of the land, with my new Arctic Fox tent pitched and the Ontario stove by Esker Outdoors keeping me warm. Between stoking the fire, I plan to explore the half-frozen river, set a few rabbit snares in hopes of a catch. And, if luck's on my side, I'll finally get something on the old game cam. Let's see if the wilderness has some surprises in store. Got all my gear here. I think I found a nice spot. So step one, I'm going to flatten it out with my snowshoes really good, which will be interesting because there's a nice frozen crust and it's supposed to be pretty mild. So I imagine I might have to do some digging and some altering during the next 3 days. And then step two, I got to cut some poles for my ground stakes and maybe a few side poles depending on what I can use for trees. So I got a couple hours left till dark, so I'm going to get started, do as much as I can, and yeah, get that stove set up and dried off and have a nice big supper. Hopefully set up my game cam and a few snares tonight. All right, here we go. This is a bag from an old camp chair. I just use it for all the stove pipes because inside my stove has the false bottom and one of the shelves and the damper. And then I have the base and the pole that came with the tent because I bought the tent used, sold my kayak and bought a winter tent. I bought the Esker 9x9 Arctic Fox. So steps one, pack down your spot. Step two, cut some ground stakes and the door stake, and then get the stove installed. So I'm just going to get the tent out, stake the triangle, get it lifted with the center pole, and then start staking the walls. There we go. I'm excited. First time. This is the base. As you can see, it's got 2 teeth, and that goes down into the snow to catch the snow. All right. This might make some good content here if I get stuck. Alright, put the pole in the center. Too much pole. So I got the tent set up. I'm sure I have some fine tuning to do, but I'm gonna get the new stove installed here. So I got the Esker Ontario, and then I have the warming shelf and the false bottoms to go with it. So I'm gonna get this set up. I'm gonna put some wood skis on the bottom so it doesn't sink too far in, and get the pipe set up. See how it goes. Anyway, I'm going to get this all set up here and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, got the pipe installed. I'm going to bury the edges around the tent. There's a little bit of a skirt that goes under. So I'm going to bury that and then cut some boughs for my bed and get a fire rocking. I don't know, we'll see. Once I'm all set up, I'll get my headlamp out. Hopefully get my game cam out here. On the way in I saw grouse, marten, lynx, and moose. And there's a game trail just beside me here, so let's see, hopefully I can get something. I've had it for a year now and haven't caught anything yet other than myself setting it up and coming to get it, so we'll see. Yeah, so my uncle gave me a llama wool rug. That'll be a nice addition to the mattress. I'll go spruce boughs, ground sheet, mattress, lamb wool, and then my sleeping bag and insert. Should be good. Okay, that should be enough. What I did here is on my Coghlan saw, I just made a mark, the wood length for my wood stove. And I usually take off 2 inches on each side of the capacity of the stove. Just you want air in the front and air in the back. You want to maximize the length of your log. And then if the line ever lands on a branch whorl, I'll always go a bit lower. You never want to cut on a branch whorl where the branches go all the way around, or any kind of bumps or burls. It'll be like cutting through concrete and dull your blade. And a lot of work for nothing. All right, so give it a quick measure. But yeah, found a nice dry standing spruce tree. A couple of knocks with the axe, you can tell bone dry inside. It'll be nice splitting wood. And I'll keep a few bottom half of the rounds for overnight. Well, I got some firewood here outside. I got some more inside. Finally got the stove rocking. You can hear it roaring. I don't know if you could hear that, but it's roaring inside. Have a look. Alright, I got the wood stove rocking, which was probably a mistake because now I just want to go to bed. I've been up since 5 o'clock, worked all day. But got here 4:30, packed everything down, cut my steaks, got the tent up, got the stove set up, cut a bunch of firewood. It's just 7:30 now, so I'm gonna grab my Seymour game cam and I'm gonna go set it up on the game trail, not too far away from camp, see what I can get tonight, and then I'll set it up at a bit better spot tomorrow. And I'll come back and cook some dinner. I'm gonna eat dinner, relax, and listen to an audiobook. I'd imagine I'm going to bed pretty early tonight. Alright, game cam is all set here. I'm gonna head back to camp now. Beautiful night. So I have this first aid kit I used. Got my patch kit, my first aid sewing kit. And then I have my toiletries, my forks, knives, and spoons. And then here I got all my spices. So I'm gonna throw on some chicken. I just put some olive oil on. I think I was gonna do Old Bay, but I made my own hot sauce. And I was watching this YouTube video with this hunter who makes his own hot sauces. And he said, man, take the pulp, the leftovers pulp, and throw it on your dehydrator. So I got a beautiful pineapple jalapeno red pepper hot sauce spice. So I'm gonna throw that on the chicken here and see how that goes. Smells good. Alright, chicken's all cooked with my homemade spice, and I added a little bit of Old Bay and salt and pepper. And I'm just cooking my teriyaki noodles here. Another 8 minutes and they should be ready. I'll cover them up soon. Can't wait to eat. I am starving.
Can get out from under larger ones by growing in the direction of the open area. Deciduous trees, in particular, take advantage of this. If they allow their main shoot to grow almost horizontally, they can increase the size of their crowns by up to 30 feet, thanks to their radically angled trunks. Of course, the trees then risk snapping off, especially after a heavy snowfall, when the laws of physics come...
Got up around 5:30. I had a little bundle of sticks ready to go and some birch bark, so easily got the fire going. Threw a couple of birch logs on there, and the next thing you know, it was back to 22 degrees. I'm in a t-shirt and, drinking coffee. Anyway, I'm gonna have a couple of cups of coffee here, and then got some camp chores, firewood, clean up in here. Got the tent, fix the tent up a little bit, and the stove, it's kind of melted underneath. So I'm just gonna dig up and put my rails back together, and then do some snaring, go for a hike, do some exploring, see what happens. All right. Just making my way down the river. Haven't seen too many rabbit tracks. There's one spot that I might set a snare back there, but here there's about 8 fresh tracks, and they're all coming down into these balsams for cover and feed. So I'm gonna try to set up a snare, maybe make a little fence to keep them in. So you can see all the tracks coming in all directions here. So then I set up a snare right there. And then my fence, kind of funneling them into that spot. All right, that's number 4. This time I went snaring, I was catching one every single night on my trap line, except 1 or 2 sometimes. The problem was the fox found it. And no matter what time I checked them, he always got them first. He knew. Well, I'm almost at the river here. Just setting up snare number 5. I have a good feeling about this one too. Hopefully I get one. As you can see, I'm in a bit of a little creek, spring creek, little gully, and apparently they picked one spot across. Look at that highway. Oh yeah, I'm gonna get the drone up here and then set a few snares on the way back to camp, kind of make a loop, and then head back for some lunch and some tea, do some chores, and then this evening I'll come and check my my snares. I might even change my game cam, but I don't want to jinx it, but I feel like I got something last night. There's some fresh tracks nearby. We'll see. Beautiful day. Can't complain. Well, I'm gonna go fix the stove. I gotta go shovel underneath it and reset those wood cross beams, and then fix the pipe, and then I'll get lunch going. So this is what I was talking about. You'll see the base plate here is on a big angle, sloping, hole underneath almost. And these guys are 4 inches off the ground. But yeah, I just laid those cross beams along the stove legs. As you can see, it would have melted and the pipe would have fell out last night. So it's really important to make sure that you got this secure. So I'm going to dig it down, level it, and then put these beams back and reinstall the stove. I am hungry, so get this done and start eating some lunch. I'm on my third pot of snow here, just filling out my water bottles. And then I'm going to have a cup of coffee, and then I'm going to start cooking dinner. And then I'll see if I'm going to try to get the Leaf game. See if I can listen or at least watch or at least listen to the Leaf game tonight. And then at some point I'm going to take a little jaunt and check my rabbit snares. That's about it. I'm excited. I'm going to have a nice Thanksgiving dinner tonight. I got dehydrated mashed potatoes, stuffing, cranberries, and some sausage to cook up. Water's boiling, just about to flip these hot sausages, and I'll chop them up, and then time the sausage is ready, my dehydrated Thanksgiving meal will also be ready. I'll show you what it looks like when it's all said and done. So here we go, we got our mash, stuffing, and cranberries rehydrated with some spicy pork sausage. It's a beautiful big full moon tonight. It's about 9 o'clock. I'm just taking an evening walk, checking my snare line, see if I got any rabbits. Doubtful, but who knows, gotta check them. I'll check them again in the morning. So anytime I see a side trail, I just look for blue ribbon. I don't usually hang them 20 feet past the trail. No rabbits, but it was a beautiful hike, full moon, absolutely gorgeous. Alright, gonna strap on these snowshoes. Sun is up, beautiful crispy morning. So I'm gonna go grab my snares and then pack out. I want to get out of here. It's supposed to be like +4 today, so the snow's gonna crap out eventually. But right now it's just like a concrete crust. Makes life miserable for the moose. When I worked out west surveying, so many times when you get these a lot of mild temperatures throughout the winter, you just see the moose, like especially in the mountains where the snow's a lot deeper, you get that crust, they just punch through and it just tears up their shins. Oftentimes we'd see little blood trails on all the tracks. Not good times. And the wolves can just cruise over top of it, so advantage predator. Anyway, I'm gonna head out. Alright, let's get going. I just want to apologize up front. If you're not into like trapping or hunting or whatever, you might want to fast forward, but I just checked my first trap and 1 for 1. So that's a good sign. For those who want to see, again, apologies. Loop. take the existing flagging tape, and put it back on to hold it all together. And that goes back in my cannabis bag for next time. Make 2 cuts on the front legs, same 2 cuts on the back legs, and then I cut around the neck all the way around. I don't do this often. And I'm going to eat the meat and use the fur. So there it is. So now I'm just going to cut off his back loins for dinner. And then this top half, there's not much meat, so I know there's a bunch of weasels and martens in the area. So I'm going to pay it forward here. Now I'm just back to pick up the stove and the tent and then make my way back home. So I'm going to take this apart for the first time, empty out all the ash, make sure I give it a good cleaning and oil when I get home. Throw mama from the train? Anyone? Billy Crystal, the sleeper. We're gonna keep referencing movies. That just reminded me of The Big Lebowski. Always check for wind before you dump your ash. God rest Donnie's soul. An early spring solo camping trip along the river was exactly what I needed to recharge and reconnect. The peaceful solitude gave me the space to unwind and a reminder of the simple joys of self-sufficiency. There's something deeply satisfying about proving to yourself that you can still catch your own food. The hot tent really impressed me with its warmth and efficiency, and the comfort made the experience all the more rewarding. It was a reminder that sometimes all we need to reset is a little adventure. I hope you found a bit of inspiration in it too. Thanks for watching.